break it down, Bella Bell, don't even blink. Good morning, IWC, let's run it. Hot takes, headlines, yeah, we run it. Turn the volume up, ain't nothing funny. We talk that truth, ain't paid by nobody. Rumors fly like shine, feel the crowd get loud. From the indie scene grit to the big show crowds. Predictions, reactions, no cap, no fear. If you mad, hit the chat, we still ain't here. Good morning, IWC, let's run it. Hot takes, headlines, yeah, we run it. Turn the volume up, ain't nothing funny. We talk that trap, they paid by nobody. Sip your coffee, lace your boots. Another episode, he delivered the news. If you love this sport, then you found it in me. So good morning to the whole IWC. Good morning, IWC. Hot takes, headlines, yeah, we run it.
Well, I forgot to unmute myself, and it wouldn't unmute while I was trying to unmute myself. So welcome into a pre-recorded episode of Good Morning IWC. To everyone out there in the Northeast and the South, you guys getting hit with some snow, hitting with some sleet, hitting with heavy rain. We're here with you guys too. We're getting the same thing. I got like, 12 inches already outside, and it's 1:30 here in Pennsylvania. How are you guys holding up out there in Massachusetts?
We doing about the same. Might be an inch or two behind you, but
Yeah.
not much better.
Yeah, now, well, we got a stack card tonight. We got WWE Unreal, just came out with their latest episode, Goodbye, Someone Leaving. Evil, we're going to be talking about him. Michael Hayes and his freaking comments. There's a last ride happening. Fightful Awards. The Shield reunited. Trey Miguel, same show, rapid fire, and a hell of a lot more. Let's get into this with the WWE Unreal. And take it away, brother.
Well, first thing I guess we'll start with is your boy or everybody's favorite or not favorite Triple H is saying Pat McAfee, your boy Pat. I mean, I see a lot of negative stuff on him lately, but he's saying he's one of the faces of the WWE to a lot of people. What are your opinions on this? I disagree, but what
No,
do you
yeah,
think?
no. No, this is just one of the many of comments I disagreed on. And well, there was a few things I liked about WWE Unreal. Let's put it this way. WWE Unreal does show off all the bells and whistles that we weren't used to as children, or as adults before we became, a lot of us became old timers, This statement right here, no. That's just whatever. He's smoking RVD level type weed on that one. I'll just be honest with you on that. The whole thing though, like, there was a part of WWE Unreal, and I don't know if you remember it, but it made me chuckle because we all know how I feel about LA Knight. We all know that I've been saying that he's overrated and everything. Well, Triple H proved it, okay? Because he was like, listen, you're supposed to do this, 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 and this, and you're moving at a damn snail's pace. I thought that was cool, seeing that. Yeah, I get it. Everyone's like, oh, boo-hoo, LA Knight got butt hurt. Like, okay, he's taking it, he's thinking about it, he's digesting it. That's how you look at that as a competitor. A lot of you, I could tell, were never, ever a competitor in life. So, but there was other things. We saw the EO, how Triple H treats EO versus a lot of other people. We saw, again, we're going to talk about the Michael Hayes stuff later, but we saw his dumbass comments. And there's so many things that we could talk about in Unreal right now. What's one thing that stood out to you though?
I'm gonna throw something out there that's probably a different perspective. What stood out to me is how unreal it is. It's like it's not. It doesn't. It comes off more as a TV show or a promo
Yep.
or like that's what it comes off. And I'm watching it for entertainment value, but I don't take this the way other people are taking it. Like I don't think this is a look behind the curtain. I think they're bluffing.
Yeah, well, and that's what that whole thing was I think Sean Ross Sapp. Yes, I'm quoting Sean Ross Sapp on this one. He,
Yikes!
yeah, right. He said something about how season one was, episode one was whatever, episode two was whatever, and episode three is a work, and that he was right. It was. They were talking about the Seth Rollins injury on this show, and it was a work. Hey, this is how we're gonna do it. This is what's gonna go down. Blah 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 blah. Okay, that's cool. That's all fine and dandy, and whatnot. But like, are we really gonna sit here and this is basically reality TV at this point, all
Yeah,
right? You're gonna take this as serious as you do any other reality show. I mean, do you really sit there? I know a few people who do, and I tell them that they're crazy all the time for it. But are you really going to sit there and be like, oh my God, such and such didn't pick the right bachelor and cry over it and not feel like a
yeah,
nut job? You know?
yeah, yeah. That's the key part. Not feel like a nut job, right?
Exactly. Like you're sitting here. There's stuff. You got Sean Ross Sapp. You got
Yeah,
the Busted Open radio there or whatever Bully Ray's doing.
mm,
You got whatever Booker T, that Legends or Hall of Fame podcast on ESPN or that radio station he's on ESPN. He's doing
yep,
that. You got all these guys. You got Wrestle Talk. You got Dave Meltzer. All these guys out here reporting, and you're pissed about WWE just showing it to you instead instead of giving the scoop out to one of those dudes I just named off. It's funny. We instead of talking about dumb shit like that, we should be talking about how dumb Triple H really sounds for calling Pat McAfee the face to a lot of people. He's the face of what? The Pat
yeah.
McAfee show. That's the
Face
face
of
that he
the
is.
face of maybe punters
Yeah,
in
oof.
the Pat McAfee show.
Well, he's the face of getting your name over outside of what you're doing. He is an entrepreneur. There's no disrespect coming from me or the Good Morning IWC crew on Pat
Yeah.
McAfee. In fact, we would love to have Pat McAfee on this show anytime he ever wants to be on here. I would love to ask him football questions all day, every day. All right, especially
Yeah.
a boy that grew up near. He grew up in West Virginia, right, or near Pittsburgh. I can't remember. I know he was with either two. Why did he never sign with Pittsburgh? Why he stay in Indy? I understand loyalty and stuff. And look, I respect the man. I really
He's
do.
a
I
he's an
respect
indie
it.
guy at this point.
Oh, he's a big time indie guy at this point. I respect the man. Like he's loyal, loyalty to the T. But he's not the face of WWE.
No way.
Like if you look at there's a lot on the Run In Wrestling podcast every Thursday, right here on Twitch, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard. Join us 6:30 behind the scenes right here on Twitch, Spedrock. All right, not the four, just SP3D ROCK. I got hacked. That's why there's a 4 down there now. That's for just X. SP3D ROCK on everything, just besides X. Boom, right there. However, back to what we were saying, I would love for this to work out for him. Like we talk about on the Run In, we talk about on Point Taken, which again here on Twitch, 3 o'clock Saturdays. We talk about
Yeah.
how and you're the champ too, by the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the returning champ on that one. We talk about how there's pillars in AEW and WWE. Dominic Mysterio is one of those pillars. Braun Breaker is one of those pillars. Those are the faces that we're looking at. If we're
Yeah.
looking at the old faces that are starting to fiddle out, we're seeing Shinsuke starting to make his exit, Kenny Omega starting to make his exit, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, pretty soon Roman Reigns. All these guys are starting to make their exit. Who's next? That's the real face when you look at it. Who's next?
Yeah.
It's not Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is not next. Cody
Yeah,
Rhodes could jump ship any day he wants to and go
yeah.
back to AEW and finish
And
that story there.
he has a
Because,
lot of time.
well, that's just the thing, though. If he ever did want to go back there, that, oh, I can't compete for the AEW championship is gone because he left. That's
Yeah,
null and void. That was the first time around. This is the second time around. So you can
yes.
go back and finish that story. So there's a lot to finish off over there in AEW. You know, there's a lot to meet the eye. But WWE Unreal, I agree with Devon. I'm not a 100% fan of it. It kind of just destroys what we love, the mystery, you
In
know.
a way, yeah.
But I'll let you have the last 2 minutes on this one. But like, I just I don't like it too much. It's reality TV in my opinion. That's all I see it as, you know.
And reality TV is scripted as hell.
But it's
But
money.
yeah, of course, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what it's about. Now, how I look at this is this, right? And I know there's some truths in there, but I think it's a lot more fake. And the way I look at it is this, right? Magicians don't open the door and show you everything,
Uh,
unless what they're showing you is another illusion.
yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, and
Now,
what you just said there works ties into politics as well. Who's his friend right now? Donald Trump. You know, who's he learning how to
yeah,
look this way while we're doing it this way? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying nothing bad about Donald Trump. Let's not get
yeah,
anything bad about that. I'm just
no,
saying politicians do that. Donald Trump
yeah.
wasn't the only one. My bad. I cut you off though.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's all right. You're fine. Because Triple H at this point is kind of a politician. It just is what it is. I mean, you've seen him in the White House. You see the things he was doing. But I just think that there's no way they're opening up the curtain for you for real.
Hmm.
So I think that you gotta take it with a grain of salt, and you gotta look at it like probably 10% truth in these episodes. Like you see something real, right?
Yeah.
But I think the rest of it is no different than how you write Monday Night Raw, how you write SmackDown. I think it's an entertainment show, and I think if you, not you, but just in general, if people watch it for entertainment value, it's a decent show.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Yeah, but if you think that it's real, like they're showing you real stuff, it could cause some conflicts. Like you don't want to see the real stuff. I don't believe they're showing that, but you don't want to see it, and it does take your nostalgia and certain things away from you, or the guessing process.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it's real, in my opinion.
No, and I agree with that. No, a lot of people out there will agree with that as well. It's not a real thing. It's just reality TV. Hey, what's up with that bell, man? I love that bell.
I love
That
that
bell
belt.
saves us so much, you know. And listen, we have a goodbye coming in. Tommaso Ciampa is reported to be out of WWE. He said he went on to his Instagram and he gave a heartfelt message. It was really freaking long. I didn't want to put it all on here. If you want to go do that, go follow him on Instagram. Follow the man, and read it all. But as soon as he did that, he started trademarking names. Psycho
Yeah,
Killer, Psycho something else. I can't remember what the other one was. And he trademarked two names right off the bat. But he straight up wants to go to there's talks of Tommaso Ciampa trying to get into New Japan Pro Wrestling. Do you believe, and I know we talked about this behind the scenes and everything, do you believe that this is a stepping stone for him to get into AEW?
yes. Um, when I see things like this, what I think back about, and I don't think Champ is somebody that has to prove himself about anything because I think Champ is great. I think everybody knows his best quality in wrestling is wrestling.
Yeah.
And so that other side just fits him more, right? But I think number one, Osprey said you can't just think you could come to AEW no more. You gotta go kill it on the indies or you gotta do this or maybe go to New Japan or something like that. If you notice, I think a lot of the wrestlers have followed this path. And I'm gonna lead this back to Ciampa. Shotzi, Priscilla Kelly.
Yep.
I think a lot of these wrestlers are realizing I'm gonna show you what I can do, because they respected that comment that was said.
Oh yeah.
Like, they don't look at AEW the way, say, the hardcore WWE audience does. They really respect AEW. And I think Ciampa said, "I'm open for business." He's gonna go to Japan, probably do a G1, have a good run, do what he has to do. But this inevitably, to get back to what you asked, he ends up in AEW. We're the best wrestler.
Yep.
He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's in the back ladder of his career. This definitely leads to AEW.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that statement about what Will Ospreay said. It's funny how you say that because years ago, what did Triple H say when Will Ospreay went to AEW? Well,
Scared of the grind.
I guess the kid doesn't want to work. Well, look what he's doing now. He's making millions. You know, it's like AEW's been around for what 7 years, 8 years now,
Yeah,
and they they have proven to the world, to the wrestling world, that it's not just WWE anymore. You don't have to go to WWE. You can go to New Japan. You can get noticed in New Japan. You can make money in New Japan and still come back to the States and work a dual contract with AEW. So I believe that that's what he's going to do. I think
yep,
he's going to go over to New Japan. He's going to kill it over there. We're going to see Yota Ushi versus the Psycho Killer,
yep.
whatever his name is after that. He might go back to his indie days names. I don't know.
This could be great times, man. I want to
Yes.
see.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I would hope that, and I don't think it's gonna happen, but I would hope that he could be on that somehow, some way. He could be on the show for the New Beginnings, New Japan Pro Wrestling out there in Trenton, New Jersey. Or you get his ass in the G1 and make that G1 a little bit bigger this year, especially if you got AEW guys in there. You put Ciampa in there in the G1. Oh man, it's game over.
I know this isn't gonna happen, but I would love to see AJ enter one last G1
Yeah,
before he retires.
yeah, that would be beautiful.
It would be.
But and like I was gonna put that in here, the last ride for him. I was gonna put that in here, but we could talk about that real fast. I don't believe that this is it. I think this is a swerve,
Yeah,
and we're gonna get it. But whatever. Well, actually, never mind. We have to talk about that because that is the Shinsuke Nakamura topic. Never mind. That is about that. Never mind. We have to talk about that. Forget what
we
I
can.
said.
I just so delay that for a second.
Yeah.
As far as Ciampa, um, I think he's gonna have a great run, no
Oh
matter what he does. I
God.
think we see him pop up in 5 other companies. I think he gets
JCW.
yep, I think he gets a lot of money. I think he's in high demand,
Yep.
and I think he shows AEW. Not that I don't think Champ is one of the guys probably don't got to prove anything, but I believe that he puts the grind in just to show them the grind is there. This is
Yep.
my last ride for real, right?
Oh
And I
yeah.
and I think it leads to maybe his best friend following him,
You
and I think
think
it's
Gargano? You think
yeah,
Gargano? Wow.
because Imma say this, and I won't be too long.
Oh, you're good. No worries.
AEW wanted him
Yeah.
when he was a free agent,
Yep.
and he played games and, do a couple subliminals where, AEW thought maybe it was possible, and you could see he was a WWE guy. Since he went back, he's done absolutely nothing. Candice LeRae has been shelved. I believe is working like mostly coach stuff,
Yep.
and she's amazing. That's ridiculous. Um, I feel like Gargano might have been the guy to tell Tampa take door two
Yeah. Yep.
because I think he realized that he might have made the wrong decision.
Well,
Because
like I said behind the scenes and earlier, you don't have to make money in WWE anymore. Yeah, it's you can sit there. A few weeks ago, and you guys should go back. A couple weeks ago, sorry, we're on episode 9 of Good Morning IWC. This is it, and a few weeks ago, we talked about the pay. How one wrestler came out and said that she's only getting paid $50,000 a year. Some wrestlers only getting paid 30. That's dirty. That is
yeah,
very dirty for people. But they're not using everybody. So some people are just ambassadors like that. Well, then make them ambassadors. Don't make them a pro wrestler. You know, pay them ambassador money, not pro wrestler money. You know, and that's the thing. If you want a guy to be a coach, well, let him be a coach. He don't need to be he don't need to be in the ring. You know, and it didn't
No,
work out for Ono, Cassius Ono. It didn't
no,
work out for him. I don't know,
no,
man. I think you're right. Johnny Gargano might be on his way out as well. I think Gargano, there's something to be said because Gargano could go over to AEW. He could be a national champion. He could be a TNT champion. He could be an international champion. He could be a continental champion. No, I don't think he could be an AEW champion.
possibly.
I
But
don't
I know
know.
that in his mind, he knows that he just wasted a couple of years.
He wasted more than a few years. I think he wasted like a decade of his life. You know, because think about it in this perspective. For a baseball player, right? Or let's go back to baseball. Let's go to with sports. For an athlete to be out, MJ was out for a few years, right? In basketball. He
Yeah,
came back, he looked like doo doo on a stick because the game got faster. The game
yeah,
got better, you know? The game wasn't about throwing elbows and posting up and, whatnot. So it kind of, his last run ran bad, but that was a terrible bad.
yeah. It happens.
It does
Now
happen. That's the
we got
sad.
a real good topic coming up. All right. So we're back here. We got a good report coming in. Evil reportedly heading to WWE. It looks like he's heading out of New Japan. It's strongly rumored that he's on his way to WWE to meet with his fiance or maybe wife at this point. We do know that he's been engaged to Io Sky for a while now. What are your thoughts on this one, Spec?
Man, all right, listen. You nailed it. EO coming in. She wanted her husband, there. She said it a few years ago. She wants her husband there. She doesn't like being away from him. I like this move. There's a lot of people who are like, well, he's got ties to AEW. Yes, he does. He has ties to AEW. But there's one tie to AEW that he doesn't have, and that's his wife. So I think they both want to be closer. It's gonna make money. They're both gonna make money. Evil's gonna fit in. He'll have to not dumb it down, but he'll have to calm it down a little out there in WWE. Because honest to God, I think this would be if Evil tried to show up, he's gonna show everyone out. Like he's gonna be like a Jacob Fatu but Japanese version. You know, or
I
Solo.
I I hate to say it, but I think this is a make EO happy move, and
Yes.
that's not nothing wrong with that. But I kind of feel like he's gonna have a joke gimmick when he gets there. That's just my opinion.
I hope not. I hope not. But I mean, at the same time, I hope they see him as a great mid Carter, where he can hold down the United States title and he can hold down the Intercontinental Championship, and and help these younger kids get where they want to go because he's not Dom's age, folks. He's not Braun Breaker's age. He is getting up there. Io's also getting up there. I'm not saying she's about my age now. And I'm about 35. I'm getting up there. And so I think this is one of those moves. Yes, you're right. Keep Io happy, and that keeps Io in WWE. One of the best female wrestlers in the world
Oh,
stays
top five,
stays
easily.
in WWE. Why do you think Triple H loves her so much? He believes she is the best out there. You know,
Yeah,
it, there's a lot of people out there that would say yes or no to that. But I don't know, man. I think that I
she's one of the best.
she is one of the best. And you know what? If you're making your stars happy, that that's what I was about to say. More power to you. Why wouldn't you want to make your stars happy? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's me. Why? Like I'm sitting here trying to think of something bad to say and get people on my side, but I can't.
It's not.
That's the thing. I don't want to say anything bad to get people on my side either because then it's false. And the
Yeah,
truth is like you want to keep certain people happy. Look at Roman. Look at Cena. Look at Randy. Look, and I can keep the list going. Rhea.
Seth, Becky.
Look. I guarantee you, if Buddy Matthews ever comes back to WWE, it's to keep Rhea happy.
Yeah, or vice versa.
Yeah. Oh
You
God.
know,
Yeah.
it's just they're married. Like eventually they're gonna want to stop touring the world, not together. It's gonna
Exactly.
happen.
Well, I mean, Buddy's not touring right now. He's at home nursing an ankle injury, and I hope he
I
gets
know,
better.
and that's
But
probably why he's lingering the injury,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
well, his contract should be coming up soon, but they're gonna add on because
Well,
of the
well,
injury.
remember he re-signed another 5-year contract.
That's right. That's right. Never mind. You're right.
Yet they
How long has
offered
he
him
been out for? I know we're supposed to be talking about Evil,
a
but now we're
year.
talking about Buddy. He's been out for like a
Yeah.
year. God damn.
Well, let me just say one thing about Evil, actually, right? I hope that they rebuild, and I know they can't use the name. Just do the House of Torture in WWE. It works where they cheat every match. That actually works better
Yep,
in WWE than it does in New Japan.
it
New
does.
Japan don't like it.
No, I get what you're
Rebuild it.
saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it works better in WWE than it does in New Japan. You're right, and I think they could. Tozawa would be.
Yes, he's being wasted.
I know you could put him in that, but do not put him in. Just don't put him in NXT. Don't put him in NXT.
He don't need NXT.
No,
He's not
NXT.
doing that.
No, NXT don't need him. He's a. I want to say he's a former neverweight champion.
Yeah,
And the man deserves more respect than a fucking NXT. And so we're gonna move on to the next slide. And this one we're gonna go. Wait, we want to go 7 minutes, 5 minutes. What do you want to do on this one?
whatever you want. We
Seven
could crush
minutes.
him. We could crush him in 5 or
I'm
7.
gonna
Whatever
crush
you
his
want.
ass in 7 minutes because I'm about to take 2 of this shit, and you can take the rest if you want. This
Like,
son of a bitch, Michael
yeah.
Hayes, came out publicly, and I understand we just talked about how WWE Unreal might be realities, So he's getting me talking now. All right. So this son of a bitch comes out and says, Chelsea Green is an entertainer. She is not built for the role of Charlotte Flair or Tiffany Stratton because Chelsea's job is to make those people, right? Like, come on, man. First off, how wrong is that statement right there? Chelsea Green is one of your best acts on SmackDown right now. She made that United States Championship feel great the first time around. Then you made her second time around look like a joke. It's not her fault that ever since the United States Championship came off of her the first time, it has gone downhill with no lead, no build up, no nothing for it. Okay? Nothing. What do you think about that comment first off? And then we'll get into the Naomi stuff.
First of all, before we can get to know Naomi, he's a full bloody idiot because Chelsea is definitely one of the faces of the company, and I know that when it comes to say Julia and her, they might not be the same wrestling ability, right? But Chelsea leveled up that title. That
Yep.
title left her. It's spiraling, right? It's now just like a purse. That's all it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Carrying it.
It's a necklace. It's just something that
That's
goes around a belt. It's a belt.
and one thing I want to ask you, and I touched on this somewhat offline with you, right? Because this sounds, I this is like a half in, half out type of thing where he's not fully disrespected Chelsea, but he is. Because
Yep.
he's saying that she's not on the level of Charlotte or Tiffany. And I know a lot of people look at Charlotte like she's one of the best that would do it. I would ask them to put a post up right now, WWE, with Chelsea and Tiffany, and I think they'd be surprised.
Yeah. Oh God,
They,
yeah.
they,
There's not
you know,
a lot of people out there, and I agree with that. A lot of people out there are on Tiffany's side for one reason only. All right, she's beautiful. Okay, but
I
when
don't even
you
think she looks better than Chelsea. That's just my
that,
opinion.
well, I'm just saying that's what a lot of people. That's why I
You
say a lot of people. But if
yeah,
you look at in ring work, Chelsea Green is far, far beyond what Tiffany Stratton's doing. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about Charlotte. All right, Charlotte is who Charlotte is. Okay,
yeah, if I took her out
she's
yeah,
a goat in the women's world. All right, but when you
yeah.
look at what Chelsea Green, the work that Chelsea Green has done in her career from Lucha Underground to going to WWE, getting fired, reinventing herself
Hey,
in TNA.
hey, yeah.
Like she's got ties. We said this last week. We talked about how she's always helping people out. Mansoor and a bunch of other people on X came out and was like, dude, yo, this post is real. She helps us out, you know? So I don't understand how she's not on that level. That's a face that should be running the place. And to take away from AJ Styles. But to the next Alf,
Wait,
go
one
ahead.
thing before you get there.
Go
Do
ahead.
you think that those comments that she said is why he did this?
Probably. I think so.
I agree.
I think he is his backlash. He's old school in that sense, like everyone needs to shut the fuck up and don't tell me anything type of deal. You know?
I
Um
think her saying AEW pissed a few people off, and he might have did this for no reason.
well, yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying, reality TV. But he also came out and said the in 2022 when Sasha Banks, now Mercedes Monet, and Trinity Naomi walked out, left their titles on the table and said bye, peace. You know, that was a bad move. I don't. I think he's just speaking out of his ass. Okay. Um. I think he's speaking out of his ass on this one big time because I don't think he knows the true story behind it. How frustration. This ain't the 70s. This ain't the 80s. This ain't the 90s no more. Okay, things started taking a turn in the 2000s, where wrestlers started getting more say. And now it's 2026. Okay, 2020 marked a different era. They're like, oh, hell no, I'm not coming in. Oh, hell no, I got say now. You need someone to come. You need me to do that. Oh, hell no. And that's what this is. They're not happy, so they can go somewhere else. Look what Mercedes Monet did, or Sasha Banks in this instance. You know, made a name for herself. Same thing with Trinity. She went over to TNA, made a name for herself. Where's Trinity? But that could be said that this was just to make Jimmy happy.
That could be true. That definitely could be true. Um, but I don't believe so. I think that these two ladies felt disrespected. I think that's just another sign of Hayes stepping over his boundaries or not knowing what boundaries are,
Yep.
not knowing what he's talking about. And Mercedes, because I think Mercedes proved a point after this. Um, Trinity might have went back because there's she has her husband there, and she had more of a reason to go back there.
Yep.
So you take Mercedes side with Trinity side, and you tell Michael Hayes to get the fuck out the middle and mind your business.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. Do you real and a lot of people don't realize this, but do you guys realize he's a Vince McMahon guy?
Yeah,
He's old school in that sense. All right, where he's gonna get his nose where it doesn't belong. All right, I don't care that you're part of the fabulous Freebirds. All right, I don't give a
me neither.
damn. I don't care that you helped out Matt and Jeff Hardy. Actually, I think that was Terry Funk. All right, or Terry Reynolds that did that. I'm sorry. That did that. She helped out more than you did. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
just throwing it out
How
there,
about
but
how will we get into why he's only disrespecting women lately? What is going on with that?
I don't know. I mean, product of his environment. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Oh, this is a good one. Mr. Kennedy wants a
Yes, it is.
last ride in WWE. He said he would definitely be open to a WWE run. He think enough time has passed. There was a time in TNA where that he felt from the bottom of his heart he would never go back to the company again. What do you think? One more run of Mr. Walks to the ropes.
Can,
Kennedy! I love it.
yeah, I would love to see it. Even TNA or WWE. I don't see him getting a last run in WWE, and I think we touched on this before, but I don't see Triple H being interested in this, and I haven't seen Kennedy work in a while, but I would like for him to show up to any of these companies for one last ride. I don't care if it was TNA, I don't care if it's WWE, I don't care if he goes into AEW and wants to have a war words with MJF. I'm fine with that.
You were saying that behind the scenes, yeah. You were like, yeah, that would have
Yeah,
been nice. Him and MJF going war words, that'd be nice. I haven't
me
seen him do anything in a long time.
neither. But you see the microphone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I want one of those coming down like that.
Yep,
So
yep.
I can push a
So
button and it comes right down. But
yeah,
hailing from
yeah,
Green Bay, Wisconsin. I love that shit. That shit was awesome.
exactly. So we're all interested. I don't think WWE would be interested, but I feel like if he's willing to work, there's a lot of other people that would be interested to have him come through. And I think he can make a lot of money and do a lot of great appearances. It just comes down to can he work still. I don't think WWE is even part of the cards right now.
No, I don't think that phone is. I think that phone got thrown out the window, never upgraded. I'm pretty sure it's still the Nokia brick phone from the 90s. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you can throw that shit out the window.
With Snake on it,
Yeah, with Snake on it. You throw that bitch in the water, right? And that's the do. You still hear it? I'm motherfucking buzzing off the day. That's probably what the type of cell phone they have him under
yeah.
still. Or yeah, they got one of them chirp phones. You guys remember the chirp
Calling
phones?
WWE and Vince McMahon's phone still ringing.
Oh no, Vinnie Mac ain't ringing no more. That shit's ringing. Who's not alive? Roddy Piper. It's go, it's going to the Hot Rods number. Like damn, you
He's
have
forwarding
reached.
calls.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you have reached the Hot Rod. Yeah, no, and R.I.P. to the Hot Rod. I love you, brother. No, I was just messing around on that. But yeah, no, this is one of those. I would love to see him come back in WWE, but you're right. TNA is where it's at. They seem more open to bringing back people
Yeah,
um, that actually helped them out in the past, and he helped out TNA in the past.
yeah,
And I think we all can agree that there's one man definitely holding back a Mr. Kennedy return, and it's one man that got him kicked out of WWE in the first place,
yeah.
got his run completely just fucked up. Just stopped, halted, whatever you want to call it. That's
Good
Triple H.
away. Yeah,
We're talking about Triple H. Long hair, short hair, big nose, bald guy, running the show. I don't know what you guys call him, okay? I call him Hunter Hurst Helmsley, all right? Because, so he is. It's Triple H.
Paul Levesque,
Paul Levesque or Levesque?
Levesque.
I don't know. He's from Connecticut. That's all I know. He doesn't like the man who hails from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I love that shit. I don't know why. Weighing in at 200. What was it? 35 pounds? 55 pounds? I don't remember. You know
He
what?
was estimating.
He was estimated, wasn't he? We should get him on the show one day. It'd be
We
like,
should.
get him to do a 10-minute thing and be like, you know what? You got to do that. Hey, this is good morning. Yeah.
Yep, give us 10 minutes. Just and give yourself a 10-minute intro and pull up.
Yeah, all day. All you have to do is pull up 10 minutes, boom. We'll rerun that shit for 2 hours straight. You know the Kent Wilson thing where they did, the 4 hour loop? We'll do
Yeah.
a 4 hour loop of freaking Mr. Kennedy or Mr. Anderson straight up saying, Good morning, IWC, or hailing from Green Bay, Wisconsin. You know what? He could he's better than some of these damn ring
Oh,
announcers.
1,000%.
He should go into ring announcing all
Really
day.
hire him for that. Like, give him that.
Yeah. Oh god damn, that'd be beautiful. Maybe one of the few people that go from wrestling to ring announcing like that. You got to have certain skill to do that shit.
I don't know. I would love to hear him in Kenny Omega.
Oh, that would be cool. Oh, here you go.
Well, let's dive in, man. So it looks like we got the Fightful Awards, and we're gonna get a couple opinions. But we got the men's wrestler, in-ring wrestler of the year. I know you agree with that. If there's only two people, if it's not him, I know you're going with. We got the stable of the year. That's, I mean, kind of undeniable. The Don Callis family has everyone, and we got the the manager of the year, which is Don Callis. Kind of undeniable because once again, he has everyone. So, what was your thoughts on this?
There's a bunch of other awards as well. I just put the big three on there that I
Yep.
thought were the big three. Look, I agree with the Bandito stuff. I don't agree with the Don Callis family or Don Callis being the manager of the year.
No,
Because
but Why?
Paul Heyman. That's the reason why. All right. Spoiler alert. It's the Vision, that came in and took over. Yes, and I understand they weren't the whole year. This is mine for 2026 now. We're going to say it's the Vision if the Vision stays the whole time. But, I can see why they say Don Callis because, Wyatt Six did absolutely nothing. I mean, what faction besides Judgment Day can we say is a faction in WWE?
Yeah. That vote was based strictly off of Takeshita and Fletcher.
Yeah.
Because they went from like here to here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, they didn't. They're not doing the YMCA no more. I
Yeah.
just really just did that. Yeah, they're not doing that no more. They're making their own dance. But no,
Yeah.
I agree with Bandito. But I just don't agree with the manager of the year. I always will stick with my man, Paul Heyman. I like the guy. Look, I like Don Callis. Let's not get that twisted. But Don Callis, you're right. He's got them all right? Paul Heyman, he builds them. You get what I'm saying? And he makes them into stars. There's very few people that you could think of that it failed as a Paul Heyman guy. Ryback and Curtis Axel are the big two that I can think of right
Well,
now.
Ryback really just failed because of his own things. And I don't know if had much to do with Paul Heyman because
Well,
they
Paul
had him.
Heyman could have made him a megastar if
Yeah.
Ryback wasn't a moron.
Yeah, I think that was more on Ryback.
He was like, damn, that's fucked up. But yeah,
I
no.
like Ryback too. I do. I mean, I like him. I think probably had some more in the tank to do for wrestling, but he messed that one up. Not Heyman.
It's the steroids, man. I don't care what he says. All right, your ribs don't get muscles on top of muscles like that. All right, you don't look like a goddamn like a boulder.
Well,
Just
he did say feed me more.
he always said feed me more, but
Era.
Otis gets fed more. And look at that. That's all meat. That's straight natural right there. I'd rather be that than goddamn looking like what's his name? Fuck, I already forgot his name. Ryback. Yeah, he is with you.
Oh, here's a good one.
It's you.
1 second. All right, so let's get into this Shield stuff. I got a little distraction over in the background, but Seth Rollins was asked if he thinks the Shield will ever reunite. Not a love lost between myself, Roman, and Dean Ambrose, or John Moxley, whatever you call him. Not currently with the company. Don't know if he's ever coming back. I would say chances are very slim. I would say zero. Maybe one day there'll be a Hall of Fame induction while all three of us will be in the same place at the same time. I would say we're looking at like a real slim chance. Maybe Kurt Angle has a better chance. What do you think the odds are here?
That last part made me laugh, and it still makes me laugh. Maybe Kurt has a chance. Yeah, that's funny. Look, in WWE terms, never say never. You know, if the
Yep.
money's right, the money's right. Money talks, bullshit walks. You know, it's a new regime as well. I'm, but I also read the book, and he was not happy.
Yeah.
John Moxley's book. If you haven't read it, if you read his book, he was not happy in WWE
Yeah,
at
he didn't
all.
hold back either.
Oh, he did not hold back whatsoever. He did not like the fact that he had to turn off Seth after his best friend just announced that he had leukemia again. He thought that was fucking trash. Everybody thought that was trash. We can agree with that. That was trash beyond trash. So I agree with Seth on this that there's a slim, very slim. We got a real chance of the real Slim Shady standing up than fucking these guys reuniting on a WWE program unless it's a Hall of Fame bid.
Yep.
Plus, I
Only
think
way.
I and then we got 1 minute left, and I'm gonna throw this out. Ambrose Moxley is happy. He's happy where he's at. He's a face where he's at. He's having fun where he's at.
Yeah.
The only way this works is if the Shield comes to him. And there's a
Yeah.
good possibility that could happen one day if Seth Rollins decides to go. I can see Seth going, maybe, just to be like, you know what? I want to see what the apples are over there. Let me sign a 2-year contract. Let me see what the apples are over there. You know,
Yeah,
I'll come back. Roman, I can see being a one-off thing.
yeah. That's all you would get from him because Roman's gonna retire. He's way too wealthy to. When he leaves WWE, he's not wrestling. But I could see Seth being the guy to do another stint. And you're right, Roman might one off. He might do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Give him 2 years. He can sign a 2-year contract with AEW, do what he wants, and be good.
Dean is probably the happiest of the three though right now. So he's not going.
No, no. Oh man, this one's really good. The other day, the WWE ID and the AEW World Heavyweight Champion were on the same show. The Forbidden Door
Love it.
was kicked in, supposedly. What do you think about this? Is this a tease to something bigger? Or is this just a one-off thing?
I think this was a flirt. They flirted with each other. They let this happen. WWE doesn't allow anything to happen that they don't know about.
Yep.
AEW is more lenient, and I don't think they would even care. WWE looked at this and they decided to let it happen.
Yep.
So that's flirtation. Not saying that we ever get it, but this is a stepping stone to get there.
I won't
Right?
say we won't ever get it because again, WWE has that never say never attitude. I mean, how many times did they name drop New Japan Pro Wrestling during the Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles match last
They
night?
brought up a group that had Okada in it.
Yeah,
So yeah, they
they brought up the Bullet Club. They
they're
brought up
flirting. They're flirting, Steph. They're flirting,
they're flirting with it.
but you gotta. They're the top of the food chain,
Yep.
so they're not gonna fully say they're willing to do that. But they're flirting. They're flirting for sure.
I can see I can see 2030
Yeah,
Forbidden Door happens.
yeah,
Who kicks it in? Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, the Vision gets back together. The original Vision gets back together, and this is their vision to take over AEW. You know, at Forbidden Door, you got Breaker, Rollins, Theory, and Reed with Heyman goes over. Okay, this is just hypothetical because of this right here. Goes
yeah.
over. You got Don Callis that manages Team AEW with Takesha, Okada, you know, Omega, and the names can change, folks. The names can change.
Yeah, of course the
You
names
know,
can.
there's a shit ton of names in all this, but this is all hypothetical. You know, but that would be fabulous. That would be beautiful.
Would be.
I would love to see a once a year between those two
That's
companies.
that's the real forbidden door.
Yep.
Like y'all, they everything else. You got your lines, you got yours, but the door don't open unless it's you two. That's the forbidden door.
That's the
Every other
forbidden
door is
door.
open. Every other door is open.
Yep. Yeah, and you're right about that. Every other door is open, but WWE
Yeah.
and TNA now because you know TKO, but you know, but
But
they're
even them, they flip.
yeah, but
Even
TNA and TNA is basically the double A of fucking wrestling. You know. Ah man, here we go. We're gonna do 5 minutes on this one because it's been a hot topic.
yeah.
Trey Miguel. What do you think? Man, Trey Miguel gets
And
fired. Trey Miguel gets hired in the same freaking breath. All right. TNA brings back Trey Miguel after AEW releases Trey Miguel from his contract less than 24 hours after being signed. Reports are coming out, and I'm not saying this from sources. No, I'm just saying Fightful, Coldaholic, Wrestle Talk. All these guys are all over X right now reporting that, you know, it's not AEW. It was Warner Brother. Think back to what we talked about last week with Jay Briscoe not being able to get that shine before he passed away. Trey Miguel is the best rascal on
yeah.
that in that squad. The best wrestler out of all of them, in my opinion. And I don't know, you know, I
No,
think you
that's a
said,
fact. I agree.
but if AMC is not caring, and AMC does care about a lot of things, AMC did a background check on this essay, and they're like, you know what, TNA, if you guys are cool with it, we're cool with it. You know,
Yeah,
Warner Brothers, they're just nitpicking now. And I said something earlier, and you could touch on this. I said this on the behind the scenes. They're getting sold anyway, so why
yeah,
the fuck do they care?
yeah, yeah. I put it like this: there's only a few things this could be, and I'm gonna touch on everything that we've seen. I'll do it fast, and I'm gonna give you a whole nother minute and a half
Oh no,
to
you take
add
as
on.
long as you want. We got 3 minutes, brother. Come on.
I don't even need that long. I need one and a half. What I'm gonna brush through is he went out with Alicia too.
Yep.
That's a fact. That's MJF's wife, I believe, at this point. Um, I'm gonna X that off the table. MJF can do this. He's I don't think he's that type of a person. Now, he's definitely the best wrestler. What this leads me to believe is there's one person, may not even be the same person, 'cause I think that last person is out of WBD already, right? Either one person had a personal with something he said 7 years ago, which doesn't seem logical, because the other guy's gone from the Jay Briscoe situation.
Yep.
He's not there no longer. Tony confirmed that.
Yep.
Um, I think WWE wants Trey Miguel. I think that Netflix is buying certain things, and I think they might have had someone's ear, and they might have had the ability to get him released, knowing that TNA can't offer him much money, and when that runs out, they could take him, and they could use him right now. And it's also a spit in the face to AEW because they pump faked you to release somebody.
Yep. Yeah.
That
Well,
it's
eh,
ridiculous.
well, the thing is, it's like I don't know, man. Warner Brothers does have a problem with a lot of people. There's a lot of blacklist actors that aren't allowed on Warner Brothers. There's a lot of wrestlers that are blacklisted from Warner Brothers, and I
Yeah,
think it's bullshit. All right, Warner Brothers, they allow all this stuff. They got nothing on TV anymore. You know,
yeah.
what do you got on TV that's actually relevant?
Shit.
I can't think of nothing. You
I'm
know,
like,
besides AEW, I can't think of nothing.
they're
Uh,
being sold, sped. That answers the question.
you know, I mean, I don't hear anyone talk about anything from it. I look. The only thing they got is that the spinoff to Game of Thrones. How many goddamn spinoffs are you gonna
Yeah,
do to Game of Thrones?
yeah.
And I agree with you. I think WWE does want Trey Miguel. I think he is a star.
He's the
He
one you want out that group.
he is. He's the one that's a functional high.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
I mean, you
It,
could even not think like this. Zachary Wentz, and I love the kid too. I know it wasn't as serious as people made it seem, but he has more baggage than Trey Miguel.
exactly.
Mm,
Exactly. And look, I love smoking weed. I do. Okay? But like not it's not always a good gimmick to
yeah,
do. You know, I didn't care for the Rascals Clubhouse stuff the other day. You know, it just didn't impress me at all. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Best three, best two out of three. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Best three out of four. Yeah,
Rascals ain't the Rascals you love
no, they're
saying.
not.
They're just not.
They're not,
Can't
and
take
that's the sad part.
you can't take Spanky or out the Rascals. You think they hit the
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Well, but man, we hit that point of the show where we got 5 bloody minutes. All right, 5 minutes. And we're going to start off with a AAA mid-half with the AI, crowning
what?
my boy
What?
Dominic Mysterio, the new AEW champion. What do you think of this, man?
Man, listen. I feel like they predicted the future.
Yep,
AEW wanted Rey Mysterio since the day they opened. He's in the main event of All In, right?
yep,
In the Wolverine get up. The best suits he's ever had in his life, I might add, right? And now AI dropped the AEW title on Dom. Might not be for a while, but I'm gonna take it like they might have predicted the future, and I don't got a problem with it. But their PI, whoever made this, should be fired.
Oh yeah, all day. You should be fired for not watching what you're doing. But no, look, they predicted the future. I believe if he ever jumps ship, he is going to be AEW champion. Uh,
100%.
Spoiler alert, potentially. Shinsuke Nakamura goes on his Instagram and tells everyone that he's legitimate. AJ Styles is legitimately retiring. I asked him, when are you going to retire? He answered, the Royal Rumble. I've already decided. Instagram, what do you think? Is this bullshit? Or is this real?
It's real because he deleted the post. So somebody must have said something to him. It doesn't mean AJ won't pump fake because he could mean he's retiring the WWE.
Yeah.
But the story Shinsuke said is 100% true. They wouldn't have made him delete it if it wasn't.
Yeah, no, I think, personally, I think this is a swerve. You know, I so this is gonna give away my predictions. I think Gunther loses to AJ Styles, but we'll see. Dwayne the
Um,
Rock Johnson needs a payday. He didn't do too well, and he didn't get no damn awards for his last movie. Saudi Arabia is going all in for WrestleMania 43. Do you think this match will happen? I
no,
have no interest in this
no, and
match.
I have no. After seeing, I know some of them might not. They might be CGI'd and some things. After seeing some of the latest pictures of The Rock, I have zero interest.
Why would
Not
the
even.
Saudi Arabian prince is so damn nostalgia feel that, and I'm not trying to disrespect you at all, okay? If you're ever gonna watch this, but it's just nostalgia. You want nostalgia, people. I hate it. This is not WrestleMania. There's
Not
no
for me.
story. There's no story to it. However, there is a story to this. During the WWE tryouts, numerous of concussions, multiple concussions, were reported during the last WWE tryouts. What do you think? These guys are just freaking killing each other for fun?
Um, I think that these new athletic people are pushing boundaries and
Yep.
they're taking hits harder, they're landing harder, and I think it's leading to more concussions. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Once they get like they're trying to do osprey stuff at the tryout.
Yeah, and that's dumb. That's
Yeah,
dumb. It's
yeah,
like, you ever heard of CTE? Come on. That's a
yeah,
real thing. All right.
yeah.
Aleister Black actually is hurt from taking a bump in the ambulance match. And they said this was already planned anyway to take time off after the match anyway. But
Sure,
hey, look, he took a bump, he got hurt. What do you think?
man. I guess this is why the guy don't want to take bumps.
I get it.
I mean, he's hurt.
Yep.
I
All
mean,
the
so
time. All the
it's
time, you know, like they had, what was it, a Death Triangle? No, it was a Death Triangle. What was it? House of Black. That was a great. Oh my bad. That was a great trio that they had over there in AEW. But I mean, Aleister Black couldn't stay healthy.
best thing he did in his life. But the thing is this, right? One thing I'll add is don't ask him if he's injured because he'll tell you he's not.
Yeah, all the time. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Bruce Pritchard came out and said that Drew Carey arrived to the 2001 Royal Rumble by himself and was like, you know what? I want to go in. Let me do it. They were like, no, listen, we have to protect you from yourself. So that's why he didn't take. Drew Carey wanted all the smoke. What do you think about this?
I love it, man. Drew Carey came said, "What we doing? Two tables, barbed wire."
That's what, yeah, that's
I'm
what I was
here.
thinking he was saying too. Like, you know what? I'm about to be the new Price is Right. He's
He
doing
said,
who's
"Look," he said, "I'm about the same physique as Mick Foley."
exactly,
Let's do
right?
it.
Oh man. We were talking about how they didn't protect Pete Rose or anybody else, but they protected the shit out of this man, right?
That's how you
And
know he's a savage.
that is right. And that's our show, folks. And thank you guys for tuning in. We will try better next time to finish if we don't finish better. And there's our bell. Look, tune in every Sunday right here on Good Morning IWC. We know this was pre recorded this time because of the snowstorm that hit. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. Mob, let everybody know where to find you, man.
And listen, every Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, head on over to Twitch. Make sure you're on Bedrock's channel. Catch point taken. Every Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, same thing, same page. Good morning, IWC. Like you said, this one is pre-recorded. After that, head on over to Thursdays, 6:30 p.m. Use Bedrock,
Oh, yeah.
same channel. That's for the running podcast with Big Mike and Fed. I also want to make sure I add in me and my boy Big Ant. Mike and Ant Sports Show. Head on over to that YouTube. We have periodic content dropping weekly. And lastly, head on over to the Elite Mob Podcast.
Yep.
Periodic content dropping as well. And let's get ready for some football.
Real football. Let's do this. Thank you guys for tuning in. Much love. Peace.